Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Reborn as a snake. 10,000 times acceleration, turning into a dragon. Chapter 116. Demon Slayer Headquarters. Wei Yan laughed out loud as he watched the scene of Ying Long eating incense. His eyes are so vicious, one can tell at a glance that Ying Long is disgusting the spirit guard. No one knows the dragon in Wulongtan better than Wei Yan. The other party doesn't eat incense at all. Now that the taste suddenly changed, it must not be for no reason. The suburban pilot project of the Guardian Spirit Guards may have failed. Well, as soon as it fails, I will write to His Majesty again to cancel this ridiculous organization. The smile on Wei Yan's face exuded a hint of hostility. Many of the demons that the Guardian Spirits have subdued these days are the most wanted criminals of the Demon Slayer. They are all evils that have troubled the people. Why do these evil obstacles escape the law in a sudden transformation and become spiritual creatures that can enjoy the incense of mortals? So is there any justice in this world? If there is no demon who committed a crime, it would be fine to seal the spirit. But those evil obstacles who made mistakes deserve to die. Otherwise, the people who were killed by them, why should they be sad? In the Ming Dynasty, there was no division of good and evil, and the laws and regulations were corrupted. Sooner or later, it will shake the foundation of the country and cause chaos in the world. Come here, the gift you prepare for Ying Long must be fast, the sooner the better, make it with all your strength, and spare no financial and material resources, understand? Wei Yan said solemnly, if his gift is successfully forged, it will be given out. I don't believe Ying Long will not like it. At that time, the resentment towards the Demon Slayer will also dissipate. A guard hurried away to lead the order. For Shanxi Chengwang Temple. Like Wei Yan, City God saw the scene in the suburbs and laughed while stroking his long beard. The most uncomfortable thing about the establishment of the Guardian Spirit Guard is not the demon-slaying division, but the immortal division. Because the Spirit Guards grabbed the incense that originally belonged to Shanxi ghosts and gods. You must know that for the gods to go up to the ghosts and gods, and down to the ghost soldiers, they all rely on incense to practice. Now the incense in the world is divided into two. It greatly affected the strength of Gong Shanxi. However, the guardian of the spirit was established by the human emperor, and he can't help it because he is a first-ranked god of the same law. I only hope that the guardian will kill himself. What city god didn't expect was that Ying Long came out to offer Gong Shanxi a hand. The suburban trial of Lingwei is very important, and it can only succeed and not fail. Now that Ying Long is out to make trouble, it may be very difficult for him to succeed. In today's world, let's talk about prestige. Even if he is the city god, in front of the five-clawed dragon, he will be a little less coquettish. Those ghosts and ghosts who guard the spirit guards, how can they compete with Ying Long for incense? Yeah, what Wei Yan said is right, now we have to get a good relationship with Ying Long. The headache for Lord Chengwang now is what to offer to Ying Long as an apology. He really couldn't think of what to give. For this reason, the city god then specially held a meeting of ghosts and gods. Let the 4 judges, the chief officials of the 24th route, and all the ghosts and gods come up with ideas together. It's a pity that everyone's last thoughts are too tacky. Portions were not enough either. Was rejected by Lord Chengwang. Before talking about it, the city god still had a perfunctory attitude. Now, definitely seriously. At this time, a chief official stood up and said, "Immortal chief, we can't figure it out, why don't we just ask Ying Long what he needs? When giving a gift, it must be sent to the heart of the person. Otherwise, it's free. Ask the other party directly, wouldn't it be a gift one by one?" City God's eyes lit up slightly, this is a good idea. What if the dragon and the lion open their mouths? A ghost stood up and objected. This is not an open opportunity for Ying Long's Gong Shanxi. It turned out that what we were going to give was a heavy gift, so why are we afraid that the other party will speak loudly? Makes sense. This sentence made many ghosts and gods nod their heads. What city god thinks in his heart is that at least he can't give the fairy priest worse than the monster killer. It's ridiculous to say that before, all the discussions for Shantong were how to kill crouching dragon and subdue dragon. But now the meeting is discussing what kind of gift should be given to that dragon. I was also afraid that the recipient would be dissatisfied. The sudden change in the painting style is really weird. However, none of the ghosts and gods in the hall felt that there was anything wrong. Because this moment is that moment. Times make heroes. Everyone is also a gentleman who knows current affairs. Just follow the trend. Still working against Yinglong now, it is tantamount to a mental illness. What's more, the person in Wolongtan who can be promoted to Yinglong will become infinitely noble. It should have been treated like this. Then who should be sent to Wolongtan? City God posed another problem. The ghosts and gods in the hall looked at me and I looked at you, but none of them stood up and volunteered. The ghost knows what Yinglong's attitude towards Gong Shanxi is now. Gong Shanxi was so targeted at the opponent before. Even if Yinglong doesn't know how to fight, it is very possible to make things difficult for you. So going to Wolongtan is definitely a chore. Seeing that there was no one to invite him, the city god had no choice but to order the general himself. He set his sights on a judge, and said indifferently, "Where is Zhongli, the judge who punishes the evil?" Zhongli, who had been silent all this time, stood up and said, "Your subordinate is here. What orders does Yan Yan have? Why don't you ask Judge Zhang to go to Wolongtan? After all, you have been there before, so you are familiar with it." Zhongli froze, instantly petrified there. The ghosts and gods all cast a sympathetic look at Zhongli. The city god chose Zhongli on purpose, probably out of revenge. After all, Zhongli had contradicted Shancheng several times before. This is wearing small shoes. From everyone's point of view, anyone can go, but Zhongli cannot go to Wolongtan. Because the last time Zhongli went to Wolongtan, it was to kill snakes. Although it failed, it was always a feud with the other party. Now let Zhongli go to Wolongtan and face Yinglong. The fate can be imagined. Here and there is to do the task, but to find it. Look, the judge who scared the third-grade judge is now stunned. Why, is Judge Zhang unwilling? Seeing that the other party didn't reply, Cheng Wang asked coldly. Zhongli came back to his senses, knelt down, and said with an expression of sacrificing himself to death, "I dare not refuse the order from the immortal elder, and I promise to complete the task." He wasn't frightened, but he couldn't believe such a coincidence. The ghosts and gods that filled the hall happened to point at him. The master has been promoted to Yinglong, and I haven't gone to congratulate him yet. I didn't expect that I could go to Wolongtan in a legitimate way. Zhongli had the illusion of being hid by happiness. Then there will be Judge Lao Zhang. When the time comes, you must have a good attitude. You must not be picked by Yinglong. Ask him what gift he wants. If he doesn't think about it, you can wait in Wolongtan, understand? Quote. The ghosts and gods thought to themselves, "The fairy is so cruel, these are not small shoes, but big shoes." But everyone suddenly felt that Cheng Wang was clever. It was also because Zhongli had killed Yinglong in Wolongtan before. Only Zhongli can go. That thorn must be pulled out. As long as Yinglong is angry in his heart, it is impossible to ease the relationship with Gong Shanxi. Therefore, in the past, Zhongli used to first vent his anger on Yinglong, and second, to complete his own mission. Waiting for a good life in Wolongtan. Zhongli was secretly happy in his heart, but on the surface he nodded in grief. A look of compromise. Seeing Zhongli like this, City God couldn't help but feel a little cruel. But in order to build a good relationship with Yinglong, only Judge Zhongli could be sacrificed. Presumably Yinglong would not have killed him. At most suffer a little flesh and blood. After the problem was solved, the city god was in a good mood. Suddenly want to find someone to drink tea. I remembered Wei Yan. Now Cheng Huang really wants to know what gift Wei Yan will give Yinglong. In addition, the appearance of the guardian spirit gave the demon slasher and Gong Shantong the idea of teaming up. Wolongtan is high in the sky. The incense of Baichuan Wei was continuously inhaled by Lin Mu. Immediately, a heat flow was generated in the body. Then spread all over the body. Very comfortable and cozy. As if bathed in golden sunlight. The power of incense then began to transform within Lin Mu's dragon body. Turned into pure mana. At this time, Lin Mu's Taoism began to skyrocket. After an hour, that's a full 10,000 years of Taoism. The incense is so strong. Lin Mu was stunned. He knew that incense could improve one's cultivation, but he didn't know that the effect was so good. It shouldn't be. He had seen the yin gods in the village before, and they were all weak. Even the ghosts and gods for Shanxi are not necessarily very powerful. They enjoy the incense every day. But what Lin Mu doesn't know is whether the incense is increasing or not. Mainly depends on volume. Right now, he absorbed the incense of thousands of Yinglong temples in one bite. And the common people are still offering offerings continuously. In addition, Lin Mu enjoyed incense for the first time. As with anything, the benefits of the first time are the greatest. After that, it will return to normal. But Lin Mu didn't care so much, he just slammed into the sky and sucked hard. The scene changes to the Snake King second in Dongyang village, and the zombie woman stands in front of an incense burner. It was also a hard suck. However, compared to the volume, the two are simply worlds apart. Even if the zombie woman has been smoking incense for hundreds of years in front of the incense burner, it is probably far less than Lin Mu's current sip. Haha, incense, come on more violently. Lin Mu got the benefits, and she couldn't think of leaving. It can not only discuss the Peacock King, but also increase the Taoism, so why not do it? In a blink of an eye, Lin Mu's Taoism was heading towards 120,000. In less than a year, the young snake has become so terrifying. The group of demons in Tianxing Mountain saw Yinglong inhaling incense, and they were shocked. Such a huge amount of incense can only be enjoyed by the dragon overlord with such prestige as Yinglong. If any ghosts are treated like this, they will not disturb the people if they are killed. This absorption of incense will improve the cultivation base. Relaxed and enjoyable. In this way, a dragon inhales incense fiercely in the sky, and countless people under the mountain make offerings crazily. It doesn't matter whether those villages have Yinglong temple or not. As long as you hold up the incense in your hand at this moment, kneel down in the direction of Yinglong. The incense will naturally pass away. Unknowingly, the people in the direction of Kyoto were also alarmed. Yinglong stood up and put the incense on the bright side. This is an opportunity for the people who believe in him to perform. The high-ranking officials and nobles in the capital, the wealthy idlers, and the rich ladies all yell at you to prepare incense candles. The incense candles were pulled out one by one, and they were as thick as arms. There is a saying, the bigger the joss stick, the more sincere the heart. The gods will feel it. Those who live in Kyoto are short of money. The biggest and best joss stick must be prepared for Master Yinglong Tianju. Such incense can be exuberant. Pray for the dragon to bless the villain to be promoted to a higher level this year. Master Tianju, my daughter is 28 years old this year. I hope to meet a good husband, stay together forever, and grow old together. I beg Lord Tianju to bless my family with no disease and disaster, and the craftsman will be happy. All kinds of wishes drifted towards Tianxing Mountain with the incense. Just because of Lin Mu's whim, the whole of Kyoto and the entire suburbs opened a century-old event for making wishes. The incense candles consumed this day alone have reached a point where it is impossible to count. All major stores, from big to small, are all sold out. As a result, for the next few days, the incense fires in the major ancestral halls and temples were all interrupted. Whether you are a ghost for Shanxi, or a spiritual creature for spirit guards, don't think about being popular. But many businessmen happily went to other places to purchase goods. The price of joss sticks also skyrocketed. Yinglong eats incense, and incense candles will definitely not be available in the future. Can the price go up? Even though the monsters in Tianxing Mountain can't imitate the common people to make offerings, they also understand it very well. The demon kings of the various mountains and the 72 cave masters sent people to Wolongtan to give gifts one after another. A dragon in Wolongtan began to shout and record. The one-horned demon king of the rhinoceros lineage sent a millennium ginseng plant. The 100-eyed demon king of the centipede clan sent a black iron steel knife weighing 3,000 catties. The ivory demon king of the lineage of the giant elephant sent a bottle of black jade essence. Drinking it can give you 100 years of life. The forgotten spider queen of the spider lineage sent a piece of Xuanyan dragon stone. Send 10 dragon beard ice and fire fruits. Send a 5-color Rui Yunji. Gifts from various cave masters emerged in endlessly. Gradually, they piled up into mountains on the bank of Wolongtan. Yingxian Valley sent a golden mountain, a silver mountain, plus emeralds, emerald greens, yemming pearls, dust-dispelling beads, fire-dispelling beads, water-dispelling beads, cooling beads, 9 curved beads, calming face beads, and calming pearls. Wind beads, one each, I wish Master Yinglong the same as the sky, looking down on eternity. After Jiaolong reported, he was stunned. What a big deal. Many people may not be aware of Hidden Immortal Valley. But the boss of the Yaozu knew it. It sounds like a human sect cultivating immortals. But it is the largest ghost cultivation force in Tianxing Mountain, and it is very mysterious. Even where Tianxing Mountain is located is a mystery. Unlike the demon spirit world, Wei Jie said. This shout of salutation even alarmed Lin Mu, who was smoking incense in the sky. Hidden Fairy Valley. Lin Mu heard about black and white impermanence, because Xingshan is the biggest ghost cultivator. But the dragon sees its head but never its tail, and the ghosts inside never come down to make trouble. It is said that the boss is a ghost fairy with hundreds of thousands of years of Taoism. Lin Mu looked towards Wolongtan. Two gleaming hills are particularly eye-catching. Mountains of gold and silver. I go. What kind of ghost cultivation forces are here? They are simply running a bank. I've never met before, so what kind of courtesy do you mean? Since Lin Mu was reborn in this world, he is often treated as a thorn in the flesh for no reason. But there is no reason for this kind of gift to please. It was really the first time I encountered it. Besides, it is still a ghost cultivator. The big pole can't hit. If you want to talk about a big demon king in Tianxing Mountain, he is not surprised. What is the meaning of Hidden Fairy Valley? Lin Mu made a sound of rolling sound waves, which surged towards all directions of Tianxing Mountain. In an instant, it spread to every mountain and every corner. Not long after, Ridao's deep voice came. Hidden Immortal Valley admires Master Yinglong's supreme demeanor. Please ask for a good relationship. Be careful, if it is not a respect, please accept it. Lin Mu wants to lock the sound and trace the source, but there is no root or source. That dragon is disrespectful. Lin Mu is not hypocritical. Even if others are here to seek good fortune, there is no reason to reject them thousands of miles away. The gift of gold and silver is really considerate. It is useless for him to want the money. However, the people in the suburbs live a poor life, and they believe in their own dragon so much. Naturally, Lin Mu can't eat other people's incense for nothing. To give feedback on, okay, I will take this mountain of gold and silver, and borrow flowers to offer Buddha. Lin Mu Lombok looked towards Jinshan Yinshan. The two gleaming hills flew up in suspension. Under the control of Lin Mu's thoughts, he slowly flew over the suburbs. The wind is coming. There was a strong wind between heaven and earth. Mountains of gold and silver fell rustlingly, and were blown evenly by the strong wind to thousands of villages. Gold and silver are scattered all over the sky, which can be described as pie in the sky. It was a beautiful scene. As the gold and silver fell to the major villages, the people suddenly fell into madness. Gold and silver, haha. I got rich, the wish that Lao Wang just made has come true. This is a gift from Lord Tianju. Thank you, Lord Tianju. With these gold and silver, we don't have to worry about our life in the past few years. The people who picked up the gold and silver kowtowed violently in the direction of Tianxing Mountain, speaking incoherently with excitement. Who would have thought that getting an incense can make a fortune for himself? Thinking of offering sacrifices to the Yin god every year in the past, there was nothing to do. What a waste of incense. Lin Mu looked in the direction of Kyoto, and he couldn't favor one over another. Kyoto itself also has many fans offering sacrifices for itself. But they are not short of money. Looking at the gifts sent by the mountains, there are many panacea, treasures for their aptitude. Basically, what everyone eats can increase their lifespan. Even cure all diseases. Whoosh whoosh. A large number of treasures of heaven and earth floated in the direction of Kyoto. The virtuous live there. The dignitaries of Kyoto went into madness. But not everyone has a share, under Lin Mu's deliberate override. The panacea, the treasures of heaven and earth, all fell into the hands of kind-hearted people. A middle-aged woman got a spiritual fruit, bit it down, and immediately became 10 years younger. Looking in the mirror, I was so excited that I almost fainted. There was even a scholar who was seriously ill and had a short lifespan, and ate a shimmering herbal medicine. Immediately, the illness disappeared, and he became alive and well. High school next year. A Miaoling girl was the luckiest and got a Dingyan pearl. From now on, her face will not grow old. Even if she lives to be 80 years old, she will still look like a girl. Envious of others. But all the faithful believers who made offerings have basically reaped benefits. And those who didn't make offerings, their intestines were full of regret at this time. One after another began to make offerings, but it was too late. A mighty offering and wishing was finally blessed by Yinglong, and finally came to a successful conclusion. And this day pushed Yinglong's reputation to a whole new level. The suburbs get gold and silver, and Kyoto gets panacea. This scene was even recorded in the history books of the Ming Dynasty, and it will last forever. Yinglong eats incense and blesses, so that mortals get great benefits. It can be said that the whole world celebrates together, and it is a sign of auspiciousness. But it was a fatal blow to the newly established guardian spirit guards of the imperial court. King Qi bears the fate of Qianlong, and wants to walk the road to heaven. The institution of guardian spirit guard is too important to him. The suburban incense trial was in full swing and went smoothly. Yinglong stirred it up and scooped up the pilot pieces. It's too ruthless, this Yinglong is trying to force the king's spirit guard to death. Xiaoqish in the office building saw the scene of Yinglong blessing him. His handsome and striking cheeks were extremely gloomy. Finally roared out directly, Peacock King's complexion is not much better, although it is a Buddha, but not 6 clean, 4 empty. Instead, there is the unknown heart. Once the trial of incense in the suburbs fails, there will be no big ghosts to come to the spirit guards to take refuge. Then this newly established machine has become a big joke. Sooner or later, it will be cancelled. His Royal Highness, Yinglong's target, this matter was started by Kong Huang, and our current situation and Yinglong's prestige, we can only shake hands with each other, otherwise we will only lose all. The Peacock King's heart is like a bright mirror. It's not that both sides will suffer, but only their side will suffer. Their spirit guards have nothing to do with the 5-clawed Yinglong. Use strong, not even that qualified. Xiaoqish looked at the Peacock King with flickering eyes. You mean I should talk to Long? The Peacock King nodded heavily. Your Highness, before the other party was promoted to Yinglong, Wei Yan, the demon slayer, joined hands with the god of gods, the city god, to start a dream talk with the other party. The effect is very good, why don't we follow suit? Hearing this, Xiaoqish fell into deep thought, and then his eyes became brighter and brighter. It is indeed a good way. The bustling world is for profit. When the other party hadn't entered Yinglong, the two divisions targeted them in this way in the early stage. In the end it was all about success. He, the guardian of the spirit, has nothing against Yinglong. Didn't the Peacock King yell at Yinglong for some purpose? This is not a deep hatred. Kong Cheng, I would like to ask you to be the host, open the dream, and ask Yinglong to have a talk. This king has long wanted to meet Yinglong for a while. Maybe he can not only turn hostility into friendship, but also win over Yinglong. Xiaoqish's self-confidence was bursting, his eyes sparkled. At the beginning, he relied on his status as a prince and his fate with Qianlong to win over the Peacock King, the demon king of the deep mountain. As long as you promise the other party a benefit that you cannot refuse, you are not afraid that the other party will not agree. Everyone has a price tag, and Yinglong is no exception. It depends on whether you can afford it. Kong Wang will open the dreamland and pull Yinglong in. The Peacock King closed his eyes, and the Buddha light all over his body was blazing. It looks like a sacred and inviolable bird. Even on it, the shadow of the King of Birds, Phoenix, can be seen. Xiaoqish looked at the Peacock King's appearance, with a smug smile on the corner of his mouth. Who would have thought that the prestigious Peacock King would be drawn into his service by him? Recently, it has been spread throughout the court that the prince with Qianlong's fate is the true heir to the great lineage of the country. His prestige soared. Many officials who supported His Highness the Crown Prince of the Eastern Palace at the beginning turned to him with the establishment of the Guardian of the Spirit. If Yinglong is used by him again, this country can be said to be in his pocket. After only half an hour. However, Xiaoqish was imagining a bright future, thinking about how to persuade Yinglong. The Peacock King suddenly opened his eyes, but his expression twitched. Kong Cheng, have you pulled Yinglong into the dream you created? Quickly pull this king into it too, go. The Peacock King was stunned, and a very contemptuous and arrogant sentence echoed in his mind. A mere birdman is also worthy of talking with this dragon dream, get lost. The dream it created thus fell to pieces with this sentence. Kong Cheng, could it be that you failed? Seeing that the Peacock King's expression was not right, Xiaoqish asked cautiously. He is confident that he can persuade Yinglong to support him, but the premise is that he must have the opportunity to talk to Yinglong. If you don't even have this opportunity, then the hero is useless. Nonsense. Your Highness, it seems that my peacock is not enough, please don't move Yinglong. After a long time, the Peacock King spoke. Disgraceful. Xiaoqish said hesitantly. Why don't you give it a try? It is also possible to visit the thatched cottage 3 times. The Peacock King shook his head. Judging from the reaction of the other party, even if he opened the dream 10 times, the other party would not give face to the appointment. Then there is no other way. The Peacock King is not just for nothing. How could he admit defeat in front of King Qi, and said calmly, if you can't be soft, then you can only come hard, and you can't give the other party a chance to reject us. Xiaoqish took a deep breath. How could he deal with the dragon? Please God, Peacock King said 4 words lightly. It was like a rock-shattering shock. Xiaoqish was well informed, and his eyes lit up immediately. Inviting God to upper body is actually a powerful spell. But it spread to the folks and developed into many versions. Ordinary people can rely on certain mantras and special sacrifices to invite gods and Buddhas to possess their bodies, so as to achieve their own goals. If a carrier can be found, Yinglong will be invited to the upper body. Wouldn't it be more stylish to drink tea at the Guardian Guards than to talk in a dream? You can also let Yinglong take a look at the weather of the spirit guards. Kong Qing is really resourceful, this method is good. The Peacock King was not too happy, and said, Your Highness, this matter is not as simple as you think. We are not inviting ordinary gods, but 5-clawed dragons, so the carrier of the gods must be physically strong, copper-skinned iron bones, inner strength, bravery, and full of vitality, otherwise it will be very difficult to succeed. What's so difficult about it? There are many masters in this field in the Imperial Palace. Your Highness, there is one more thing. If Yinglong comes with his body willingly, it will be fine. If we forcibly force the other party's upper body, then the carrier may explode and die afterwards. A gleam of brilliance flashed in Xiaoqish's eyes, and he said in a breathtaking way, as long as this king can see Yinglong, what does the life of a mere master mean? In a simple sentence, it reveals a superior indifference. Xiaoqish, who learned the emperor's art from a thief, has long since lost his compassion. He can pretend to be benevolent on the surface, but he will never be soft-hearted. The first art of the emperor is to control people. And now he wants to Yulong, in order to achieve his goal. Not to mention sacrificing the life of a big insider. How about tens and hundreds? Come here, find a few more physically strong, copper-skinned and iron-boned masters for this king. Also, hurry up and prepare some delicacies, the more the better, the more the better. Xiaoqish ordered to go on. The whole person became excited. He wanted to entertain Yinglong who came from above. Show enough sincerity. The weight of a 5-claw Yinglong is unmatched by 10 spirit guard organizations. He can be regarded as seeing it today. Winning Yinglong can be regarded as winning the hearts of the people. If you win the hearts of the people, are you afraid you won't win the world? Yinglong absorbs the incense, and as night falls, it ends. Lin Mu gathered the dragon's body and descended to the surface of Crouching Dragon Pool. Even if he is restrained deliberately, his dragon body is powerful enough to overwhelm him. The surrounding area is full of brilliance and dragon spirit. It is also because he has absorbed too much incense that his every move of the dragon has added a sense of gods and immortals. Not to mention mortals, even those masters of the 4th and 5th ranks, when they saw the dragon body, they would worship uncontrollably. I am sincerely convinced. This is a kind of power, but also a kind of prestige. It is also the so-called general trend. In just half a day, I actually increased my Taoism by nearly 20,000 inches. Lin Mu had no choice but to marvel at how terrifying mortals are. There are so many people and so much power, even a single spark can start a prairie fire. The incense cultivation that he despised before was actually more terrifying than his million times time acceleration. Lin Mu absorbs a large amount of incense, not just because of the skyrocketing Taoism. The dragon's body was also plated with a layer of gold, making it even more terrifying. No wonder ghosts are eager for incense, and it's not unreasonable. But this kind of thing can't be done often, After all, he is not following the route of incense cultivation. What's more, he absorbed the incense too much, which disturbed the order of the world. Lin Mu accepted it as soon as it was good, and he also saw that Shangwo was weak afterward. I'm afraid it will be difficult to achieve such an obvious effect in the future. Okay, Lin Mu was summing up when he suddenly felt in a trance, as if he was about to be pulled into a dream. In just a split second, Lin Mu had a clear understanding of everything. With a direct curse, the dream was defeated. Birdman in a hurry. Lin Mu grinned. He believed, even if he didn't show up openly to absorb incense in the future, the people at the foot of the mountain will also make offerings for money every day. If the spiritual creatures canonized by the spirit guards wanted to eat incense, they would have to go hungry for 9 meals in 3 days. Don't worry, the roar at the beginning was just a small interest. Lin Mu did some things in the early stage, but he was a little restrained. The environment is strong and fearful. But now he has been promoted to a 5-clawed dragon, enough to fly across the world and look down on the world. I have no scruples now. It can even be unscrupulous. The human court can only curry favor with him. After the 5-clawed dragon, my direction will evolve towards the 9-clawed golden dragon, so I can't slack off. Lin Mu thought secretly. He didn't swell because of it. Cultivation cannot be stopped. After 100,000 years of Taoism, he was promoted to a 5-clawed dragon. After 50 years of Taoism, he became a 9-clawed golden dragon. Only after 1,000,000 years of Taoism can he attack the Dragon King. It is also the level of the ancestor dragon. The so-called 9-clawed golden dragon is not actually Lin Mu growing 9 dragon claws after becoming a golden dragon. Instead, 9 toes will evolve from the dragon claws. All 5 claws have 9 toes. The real Long Tianzi in the royal symbol has always been called the 9-5 Supreme, which means this. But that's just a general statement. The real golden dragon has 9 toes in each claw because 9 is the number of heaven and earth. It is the phase of extreme yang and extreme prosperity. And the 5th ranks in the middle, so the 9th 5-year plan is for Feilong to be soft in the sky. No one in the world would dare not follow the true Emperor Wang Quanwei. According to Lin Mu's current cultivation speed, it can be described as a rapid progress. But it is far from becoming a golden dragon. 50 years of Taoism is definitely a terrifying number. At least none of the ghosts in the world today can reach such a height. Lin Mu checked his own data, and because of absorbing incense, his Taoism rose to 120,000. Another 380,000 Taoism is needed. Even if it is accelerated according to 1,000,000 times of time, do nothing, and practice as a craftsman. It will take at least 10 years or more. Fortunately, Lin Mu doesn't just rely on the acceleration of time to practice. Whether it's the way of devouring or the practice of incense, he can quickly improve his cultivation. If the 3 insist on a ranking. In fact, the way of devouring in the art of earth evil, swallowing can gain cultivation. Be the fastest. Before Lin Mu devoured the 6-eyed golden dragon that had not yet had its heyday, its Taoism skyrocketed for 50,000 years. Thinking about it this way, 50 years of Taoism is nothing. But a suitable devouring object is required. After thinking about it for a while, Lin Mu is ready to start time acceleration when he has nothing else to do. But at night, a phantom manifested on the shore of Wolongtan. Dressed in a red robe, with a stature of 7 or 8 feet, with angry eyes and round eyes, he looks upright. Okay, how did it come? The villain Zhongli pays homage to the master, and the master sets Yinglong aside. The person who came was Zhongli, the 3rd-rank judge who came with the task of offering Shanxi. Lin Mu looked over indifferently, and asked indifferently, Zhongli, but what happened? The master didn't call you, why did you come here? Back to the master, there is no major event, but one thing. Zhongli told Lin Mu about the ins and outs of the future. It made Lin Mu laugh when he heard it. That stubborn old man of the city god actually sent you here to ask the owner what gift he wants. It's really interesting. In the last dream conversation, the temper of the city god was even greater than Wei Yan, the demon slayer. Arrogant with a bit of arrogance. It's okay, and hummed a few times. That is extremely disgusting with the dragon Lin Mu. Lin Mu thought that the city god would perfunctory himself for offering the apology to Shanxi. Didn't expect it to be so important. Specially send a judge to ask what you want. If Zhongli hadn't been subdued by Lin Mu long ago, he would have suspected there was a fraud in it. Master, you can think carefully about what you need. As long as you ask, the priest will definitely respond. Now Zhongli can be regarded as having his heart in Cao Ying and his body in Han. Lin Mu deeply understands a truth, no matter which parallel time and space you are in. Status matters. As long as you have status and power, even your enemies will obediently come to curry favor with you. Not to mention, this feeling is very cool. There seems to be no big problem with the inscription of the city god. Lin Mu originally thought that he could get the inscription plaque of the city god, even if he made an apology for himself. But now it seems that the title plaque can only be regarded as an additional condition. You can't take advantage of that arrogant old man for nothing. What treasure do you have for Shanxi, let me tell you. Lin Mu looked at Zhongli with interest. Let him think, really can't think of it. Zhongli changed the topic and asked, Master absorbs incense during the day, do you plan to take the incense cultivation route in the future? I have plans in this regard, but the movement is too big, so I can't do it often. Lin Mu told the truth. Master, I have a special container for Shanxi, which is used to store incense. Actually, there is no need for such a big fanfare. The general village gods and temple gods are stationed locally. The common people make offerings and use them directly. But as some high-ranking ghosts and gods, they are not stationed in the local area, and there are many temples. Their incense is stored in special containers. CFDD, when a certain day arrives, take it out and enjoy it. This incense is like green smoke, it will dissipate. You can either enjoy it straight away or store it. Giving Shanxi will not waste any incense. There is such a good thing. Lin Mu's eyes lit up. If his incense could be stored, there would be a huge amount in a few days. Master, in fact, this kind of container is not expensive, nor is it unusual, but Master, you are a 5-clawed dragon with countless followers, and ordinary incense containers may not be enough for you. I need Gong Shanxi to create one specially for you. It's just that the city god sent a villain here. Although he is sincere, he may not agree to this request. It's normal for Lin Mu to be transparent, and Chengwang refuses to agree. Because the birth of this kind of container will completely affect the development of gods and gods for Shanxi. If Yinglong takes the incense cultivation route, there will be no other ghosts or gods. You must know that Lin Mu is not a little bit of incense, and it accounts for the majority. I can't tolerate the city god's agreement or disapproval. A cold light flickered in Lin Mu's eyes. The city god has no choice. Even if there is no incense container, the people in the world will make offerings to Yinglong. If Lin Mu doesn't enjoy it, it's just wasted. Just as you said, ask Shanxi to create a special incense container for the master. The bigger the better, the master has many believers. In addition, when you go back, you have to ask Chengwang to ask for a plaque written by him. The content is also simple, just say something nice to the zombie woman. Put a plaque on the zombie woman and say something nice. Zhongli was dumbfounded. This request was even more excessive than the previous one. What kind of person is city god? He is a righteous god of justice, in charge of the underworld, and commanding all kinds of ghosts and gods. If you ask him to write a plaque for a zombie that is not tolerated by the world, it is equivalent to asking the emperor to feed a beggar. Pure disgusting people. Master, the villain will bring it, it's just a matter of inscribing a plaque, I'm afraid. Zhongli is too aware of Chengwang's temperament. When the time comes, tell the city god that as long as he takes care of these two things, Benlong and Shanxi's grievances will be cancelled. If he needs anything in the future, Benlong can also help him. The villain understands. Zhongli is very happy that the relationship between the master and Gong Shanxi is getting better. Otherwise, he would stay in Gong Shanxi as an undercover agent, and he would be worried. Is the little man going back now? Lin Mu smiled. Didn't the city god ask you to stay for a few more days? Don't worry. You should practice with my master for a few days first, and it won't be too late to go back after you are promoted to the second rank. Zhongli was stunned for a moment. It is not a matter of a few days for a ghost of its level to raise a level. I'm afraid it may not be possible for decades or centuries. Lin Mu didn't explain anything either. At that time, the third-rank judge will know what is called cultivation. Its kind of ghosts and gods rely on incense to practice, and the realm is actually higher. The grade is more difficult to upgrade. When it comes to shackles, it is even more difficult to move an inch. Lin Mu can see that Zhongli has been stuck in the third rank for a long time, and he needs to lift it up by himself. As a judge for punishing evil, the stronger his strength, the greater his right to speak in Gongxiantong. This chess piece is still very important to Lin Mu. Although he has no intention of interfering with the affairs of the Ming dynasty, he must be prepared for everything. If there is any trouble in the future, you will not be passive. Lin Mu even wanted to arrange a pawn of his own to go down in demon slaying division. It's just that I didn't find the right opportunity and object. After the conversation with Zhongli, Lin let it plunge into the water of Wolongtan. The time acceleration of 1,000,000 times is turned on. Originally, Lin Mu wanted to take Zhongli to practice well, so that the evil judge could be promoted to the second rank. But in the blink of an eye, it's only a day. There was a strong call rushing towards my face. This call is full of sacrificial power, and it is even a bit irresistible. Okay, a sentence came to Lin Mu's mind. Respectfully please Master Ying Long Tianju. God please. Lin Mu, who is proficient in the 72 techniques of earth evil spirits, would not understand. Upper body, on you, get out. On the other hand, dirty spirit fat. In the magnificent hall of the office building, Xiao Qish stood with the Peacock King. They looked ahead and nodded for a while. Standing in a row in front of them were 6 burly martial artists with extremely strong vitality. They are all the first-class Imperial Guards in the Imperial Palace. And the realm is actually the 4th rank. Put it in the demon-slaying division, you can be 1,000 households commanding hundreds of people. Xiao Qish is worthy of being the beloved prince in the eyes of the emperor, with Tongtian tricks. In just one day, 6 imperial servants were brought in. With exuberant energy and blood, even a 1,000-year-old ghost would not dare to approach him. Kong Qing, how are these 6 people doing? Xiao Qish asked the Peacock King with a smile. The Peacock King stared at each one for a few times, and finally said lightly, you can give it a try. Hearing this, Xiao Qish straightened his expression, and said to the 6 people, I know that this king specially summoned you from the palace, so what's the matter? The 6 knelt down on one knee, and their voices were like the chorus of Hong Zhang. No matter what happens, my subordinates are serving His Royal Highness King Qi. Well, very good. Xiao Qish nodded contentedly, and then said, to tell you the truth, this king wants to invite Ying Long Tianju to protect the spirit guard, so I need to borrow your body for a while. When the 6 imperial guards heard Ying Long Tianju, their eyes couldn't help becoming odd. It is not difficult to see from their eyes that even if they are not followers of Yinglong, they still yearn for him. 5-Claw Yinglong, the overlord of the dragon, as long as it is not against the court. Anyone, down to the imperial guards, up to the 6th court of the 3 palaces of the imperial palace. They are all full of worship to the dragon. It is a myth and legend that is truly alive and walking. From a mere snake king, with a gesture of soaring into the sky, he was quickly promoted to the noble 5-clawed dragon. The common people have already compiled it into scripts. In all major restaurants, if there is a storyteller telling the legend of Yinglong, it must be full of guests and applause. It's just a pain for the demon slayer and the immortal. He became the villain in the storyteller's mouth. 2 evil forces. Who among you can invite Ying Long Tianju to the upper body? Afterward, this king will reward you with 1,000 taels of gold and be promoted to 3 ranks. Xiao Qish drew a big cake. Suddenly, a royal guard with thick eyebrows and big eyes stepped forward and said, this subordinate is willing to give it a try. The other 5 didn't fight him either. Inviting Yinglong to go to the upper body seems to be a karmic thing. There are huge benefits to doing it. But these masters who cultivated the physical body, how could they not understand the danger inside? Yinglong is not living in the legend, it is on the bright side. Was born in front of the world. How majestic and powerful its dragon body is. The Peacock King's great compassion mantra roared with all his strength, but Kong retreated only a dozen degrees from Yinglong. The body was unharmed. With a mortal body, even if the physical body has been cultivated to the extreme, and the vitality and blood are extremely strong, they dare not guarantee it can withstand the possession of Yinglong, unless you have reached the point where the flesh is sanctified. Therefore, there is no such thing as rushing. If it's your turn, there's nothing you can do. I can only bite the bullet. The Peacock King came in front of the thick-browed and big-eyed Imperial Master, and put his hand on the opponent's shoulder. I will teach you a spell, you can just read it aloud when the time comes, and don't worry about the rest. These Imperial guards are not practitioners, and need to rely on the magic power of the Peacock King to assist them. The Imperial Master with thick eyebrows and big eyes nodded, and then took a firm horse stance. After getting the spell, he lowered his head and murmured a curse that seemed to be praying for blessings, and then suddenly raised his head and shouted, "The heavens are spirited, the earth is spirited, hurry like a law, I respectfully invite Master Long Tianju to come to me." All of a sudden, the entire office hall suddenly blew violently, and the ground shook. Xiaoqisha's eyes lit up, watching the play. But the Imperial Master frowned, the veins on his forehead swelled, and his face began to twitch. Obviously suffered great pain, but he couldn't scream out. As soon as he screamed, his energy was vented. One leak and it fails. There will also be backlash. Hold on, as long as Yinglong can get on your body, I will never break my promise just now. Even if you die afterwards, the golden 1,000 taels will be sent to your home, and your son will be arranged by the king. Xiaoqish took a booster for a while. Respectfully invite Master Long Tianju to take the upper body. The Imperial Master let out a loud shout again. With this voice fell. His body soared, and a majestic dragon's power filled out from his body. The startled people in the office hall retreated one after another, their expressions becoming panicked. I can't wait to kneel down and worship. Haha, it's going to be a success. Xiaoqish smiled happily. He felt that he only wanted to see Yinglong. That's half the battle. There is no conflict between Yinglong and himself, but it is just to resent the Peacock King's roar at the beginning. This is no small matter. As long as Yinglong is willing to support him to ascend to the sky. At the critical moment, even if he abandoned the Peacock King, he would not hesitate. However, exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. The Imperial Master exuding fearful dragon power unexpectedly exploded on the spot. The whole person turned into blood mist. With a wave of the Peacock King's hand, a light curtain barrier manifested. Don't let the blood mist splash on Xiaoqisha's body. Damn it, it almost succeeded, come again. Xiaoqisha's handsome face became slightly ferocious, and he looked at the 5 Imperial guards. The 5 guards looked at each other in blank dismay. They were on par with the one who just exploded in physical strength. Both sides failed, and with such a miserable ending, I'm afraid they won't get any better. Hurry up, who's coming? I'm waiting impatiently. Xiaoqish became irritable. I come. The one in the middle stepped out bravely. It is very clear in my heart that I have come to the Garden Guard. Either invite Yinglong, or all 6 of them will die. It is absolutely impossible to go back in full. Very good. This king is optimistic about you. You are going to succeed. 2,000 taels of gold, suitable for level 3. Subordinates do their best. The Peacock King walked over and put his hand on the opponent's shoulder. The sky is Lingling, the earth is Lingling, and the rush is like a law. Respectfully invite Yinglong Weiju to take the upper body. Shortly after, pong, there was an explosion and turned into blood mist. Next person. The sky is Lingling, the earth is Lingling, rushing like a law. I respectfully invite Master Long Tianju to take me up. Pong. The result is the same. 3 failures in a row made Xiaoqisha's expression completely uncontrollable, and he yelled at the Peacock King, Kong Qing, is it because these people are too weak, or you can't do it this way? The Peacock King's expression froze. It spent some time with this highness. It seems that Qi Wang is very noble and gentle. But in reality he is more irritable. Maybe it's because I was born so smooth. If you encounter a little setback, you will expose your true nature. The Buddha's light on Peacock King's body flickered and shone on Xiaoqisha's body. Xiaoqish immediately calmed down. Your Highness, the physical body should be fine. Presumably Yinglong is unwilling to come. Try a few more times. How many times do you try? The remaining 3 Imperial guards were desperate when they heard this. Try it once, and it will be the life and wealth of one of their big inner masters. It's really easy to say. This king is bound to meet Yinglong today, have you heard that? The 3 guards nodded in fear, almost embracing death. The 4th Peng. 5th place. Peng. Until the 6th place. The opponent's body soared several times, the dragon power in his body rolled out, and the whole body's aura became round and flawless, a kind of aura that dominated the world and looked down on everything burst out. Point 0. However, when Xiaoqish saw this scene, he couldn't help shaking his head, giving up hope. Every time it gets to this point, it's about to explode. I'm looking for 10 masters for this king. The stronger the better, don't find some trash to come over and waste my time. Your Highness, wait, the Peacock King is full of Buddha's light, guarding the roof of this brand new office building. A phantom of a giant peacock head soared upwards. He roared in the direction of Tianxing Mountain. The sound of rolling tide finally swept to Wolongtan. Manifested voice. Why did Yinglong dare not keep the appointment? Could it be that he was afraid? As soon as these words came out, the eyes of the last Imperial Master in the office building of the Guardian Spirit immediately flashed a terrifying vision of the age of the country and the fear of extinction. Next moment, roar, from the body of the Imperial Master, there was a terrifying dragon cry. It was the cry of an ancient beast, with boundless majesty. No one can resist. Plop, plop, plop. The masters of the entire spirit guard knelt down uncontrollably one by one. Like a real Long Tianzi driving to the same. Sincerely and fearfully. Successful, Yinglong has come. Xiaoqish was enveloped by a wave of Buddha's light, so he was free from the pressure of Longwei. His eyes were fixed on the Imperial Master with extraordinary eyes. I saw the Imperial Master twisting his neck mechanically, making a beam-cracking sound. The whole body exudes a strong dragon power. Suddenly, the former master was lost. There was a cold light in his eyes, and suddenly flashed out. He looked straight at the noble and powerful King Kijuki. At this moment, Xiaoqish only felt that in his mind, a mountain peak came from the sky and smashed into it fiercely. There was a buzzing sound in my mind. The knees began to weaken, and it was uncontrollable to kneel down. The frightened Xiaoqish's face changed drastically. He can't kneel. If he kneels, he will almost represent the Ming court and kneel towards Yinglong. Then this dragon is truly superior to the Ming dynasty. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.